A Super Bowl champion.
The Green Bay Packers have won the Super Bowl.
The Packers' all-time leading scorer.
A game winner for Mason Crosby.
It's time for the Mason Crosby Show with Mitch Nellis on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook and on the free Odyssey app.
Thunder. Should just called the bet. This is the Mason Crosby Show. Mitch Nellis, Tommy Orris with you. And I know it's Monday. And I know it happened Friday night. But does anything else on earth? All right, maybe the Knicks, maybe New York cares. Maybe Raleigh, North Carolina cares about hockey right now. But does anyone in Wisconsin care about anything else right now besides what happened Friday night at AmFam Field?
Here's a 2-2 pitch to Kyle Schwarber. And a foul tip held on to by Contreras.
Good hold, Bill.
Strike three.
Way to hold it, Bill.
Way to hold it.
Yeah.
You can keep going.
Was that
Got
the
him.
first of 15?
High heater at 104.
104.
Yeah, that was all right. And this is
Got him! 104 again, and
All
Miz
right.
strikes out the side in the first.
I know we've talked about this before, Tommy. If you were batting against the Miz and he's only throwing fastballs, on what pitch would you tip the ball? Like, how long would it take you to get the timing down?
tip it enough
just a
to like
tip.
even the catcher can catch it. Like I just have to make some
You
sort
just
of
have to make
contact.
any contact.
There's 0% chance it's not taking a minimum of 50 pitches.
Okay. I was going to say,
And that's just to like
right.
tip it so
Right.
that Bill can catch it.
Like the ball's still in his hand and I'm starting my swing.
Correct.
That's how fast but he's just throwing fastballs. He's not allowed to throw curveballs or sweepers or anything like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, 50 seems about right. I feel like
To at least, even if I'm putting a bunt out there, I don't know.
No. You're gonna kill yourself if you try to bunt on.
Right.
Yeah. He's unbelievable. He is unbelievable. And Friday night was like the crowning moment of everything of Jacob Mizorowski. It was next level amazing throughout. I was at a party Friday night. A friend of mine, Sergeant Blanky, just got back from a year and a half of active duty.
Nice.
I'm not sure if I'm allowed to share where he was, but let's just say he was in the thick of it.
Okay.
He was in the thick of it on the other side of the world. And so thank you to my buddy Blanky for all you're doing for us and keeping us free. So I'm at the party and I'm keeping an eye on the game is on at the party, obviously, because we're all Brewers fans, right? It's in Menominee Falls. I had to tell you this, Tommy. I'm literally watching Jake Bauers at bat. Okay. And I'm like, oh, I'm going to go. I'm going to go home. It's time for me to go home. I ate Sloppy Joe's. It was great. And so Blanky's like, hey, I have something for you in the car. Like I got you something.
Oh.
And I'm like, well, okay. So let's go. So literally like Bauers, I don't know, like fouls off a pitch or does something. And I turn around and leave. Literally the next pitch, he hits a 3-run home.
There's a drive to the gap in left center. Going to get some here. That is up and gone. A 3-run homer for Bauers.
Was it? And I can't remember if that was a full count, but it does seem like every time he's up, it's a full count. And when that happened, and the way Miz was throwing, like we were kind of watching the Miz, but it was when Bauers hit that home run. Did that make it 3-0 or 4-0?
They made it 5-0.
5-0. Okay, so
that was the reason Jacob Mizorowski could have a complete game.
Yes.
Now,
absolutely.
not to say that his performance wouldn't have led to what has already happened in the 15 strikeouts, but that now let manager Pat Murphy have a little bit of breathing room to where you can now say, all right, go out there and shove, kid. Because if it's a 1-0, a 2-0 game at that time, maybe Murphy is a little bit different and wants to go to the bullpen or wants to put in some fresh arms during that stretch. It did not matter after that 3-run homer by Jake Bauers that you could let Miz go ahead, get off the leash a little bit, and he still only threw 95 pitches.
Right. Like I never, had you ever heard the term a Maddox before?
I had. Yes.
I don't know that I had, but I knew exactly what it meant because Saturday morning, Big Rumble woke up and said, "Dad, what's a Maddox?" And I'm like, I don't know, but I'm guessing it's a complete game less than 90, not less than 100 pitches.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what it is. What was I just going to ask you about? You're on the air because you do the post-game show, the Potawatomi Sportsbook post-game show with Tim Allen. So you didn't hear Miz's interview with Sophia, I assume. Miz kind of like, Sophia asked him about, Philly was aggressive. Like, I know they struck out and they never got to a 3-ball count, but they were swinging at everything. And she asked him about that. And he said, which I was shocked at this honesty. He said, yeah, it was really helpful that they were overly aggressive tonight.
Yes.
And it's like, I'm surprised that you would say that in that way, like, as opposed to just saying, he wasn't even trying to beat around the bush or be politically correct about, like, yes, Philly helped me. They suck. They suck tonight. They suck all the time. And they can all make the All-Star team this year, and I don't even need to make it because they're such babies.
But
that's what he should have said.
You also have to be aggressive against Jacob Mizorowski, and the Maddox proves that with how efficient and how much his command has improved 1 year to the date, because that was 1 year to the date from his first ever major league start, and he never got to a 3-ball count in the entire performance.
Insane.
You cannot have a guy throwing 104.5 or 105 and not get to a 3-ball count. That should be illegal.
Yeah.
That should not be allowed.
Tommy, what he did Friday night was illegal. It was absolutely insane. It by some parameters, it's like a game we've never seen before in the history of Major League Baseball. 15 strikeouts, less than 100 pitches, complete game, 1 hit, minimum batters. I'm almost more impressed by the minimum batters than anything else. The fact that you physically cannot face 26 batters in a baseball game.
Correct.
Like, the minimum number of batters you can face in a baseball game is 27.
Yep.
And Miz did that. And I know it's not a perfect game, and I know it's not even a no-hitter, but it sure feels like it's in that category of unicorn games that this was amazing.
Okay, which one of these stats is more impressive? So I went out of my way to go look at some Phillies beat writers after that game or during that game, live tweeting, however it was. So 4 pitchers have thrown 15 strikeouts or more in a 1-hit or less performance against the Phillies in the history of the organization.
Okay.
The first time it ever happened, September 16th of 1960. It was a great year. Warren Spahn.
Sure.
Okay.
I've heard of him. One of the greatest Braves of all time.
The next guy to do it, it was the spring of 1970.
Sure.
Nolan Ryan did it.
Yeah.
The next
of course
time,
Nolan Ryan did.
The next time it happened, same year, 1970, was a great year.
Yeah.
Tom Seaver did it.
I don't know if pitchers are going to get to 3,000 strikeouts ever again, but if they do, it's Miz.
And the other one is Jacob Mizorowski. Those are the 4 guys to ever do it against the Philadelphia Phillies. Those are 3 Hall of Famers.
I don't know what games he's been to or he's seen, but I heard Buster Olney this weekend before the Red Sox Rangers game last night, which was Sunday Night Baseball, say that of the games he has watched, not been to, but watched, he had it sit. He put this game in his top 2 ever of all time. How many games do you think Buster Olney's watched? Thousands, right?
Thousands.
And he said of dominant pitching performances, Pedro pitching a 1-hit, 17 strikeout performance, complete game at Yankee Stadium, and this performance by Jacob Mizorowski are far and away the 2 most dominant pitching performances he's ever seen in his life.
Well, so now I have 2 other ones for you that are really fun. The 3 fastest strikeout pitches by any starting pitcher in any game since 2008.
Okay.
It was Jacob Mizorowski against Kyle Schwarber, the first batter of the game.
Okay.
104.5.
104.5. Yep.
Jacob Mizorowski versus Bryce Harper, 104.1.
Okay.
And Jacob Mizorowski, 6.5 versus Trey Turner. Those all happened in the first inning of the ball game. And they are the 3 fastest strikeout pitches of all time. He threw 69 fastballs of the 95 pitches. They averaged 101.7 on the on the velocity.
Yep.
And the other one here that's a really fun one. No MLB pitcher this year has struck out 55 batters while allowing fewer than 5 runs in an 8-start span. No one has done that.
Yep.
Except for Jacob Mizorowski, who has struck out 80 batters and allowed just 1 earned run.
So I don't know if you saw
during
that
an
stat
8-game
as
span.
well. There are 2 pitchers in the history of baseball, 8 starts, 80 plus strikeouts, 1 earned run in an 8-start.
Who's the other one? Bob?
No, the other one is 2018. If you remember how good the Red Sox were in 2018, Chris Sale actually had 81 strikeouts. So he had 1 more than the Miz has. But they both give up 1 run in 8 innings. And then how beautiful of a book-ended weekend to see Kyle Harrison yesterday outduel Chris.
Chris. We're calling him Chris.
Right. Yeah.
Until further notice.
Yeah.
When you give up a home run to Blake Person, you lose the Topher.
And a drive to the left. It is back. Perk has left the building. His first home run of the year, and I can imagine his feet never touched the ground as he was floating around the bases.
Oh, what a swing by Perk.
I mean, crazy, right?
Crazy.
Like what? When that popped up on my phone, because I was at softball practice with the kids yesterday, 12s and 14s. They're not kids anymore. They're young women. When that popped up on my phone, I mean, I started screaming at the other coaches. I was like, guys, you would never in a million years are going to guess who just hit a home run for the Brewers. And obviously they didn't guess, but then they guessed because of how I said it. Great for Blake. I mean, I care way more about Harrison and the way he pitched yesterday and the way he responded. We saw Chad Patrick absolutely terrible Saturday night. And on the scale of 1 to 10, Tommy, how nervous were you that what happened to Chad Patrick, that there was going to be some hangover for Kyle Harrison based on how he performed and what Vegas did to him? Were you nervous coming into the game yesterday?
No, I think I was not that nervous because there wasn't a whole lot of evidence of Vegas hangover for a lot of these guys, specifically the Brewers offense, right? Brewers offense put up 4 or more in all 3 games of the series. When's the last time they've done that? It feels like they don't do that any times.
And we haven't even talked about how good Jackson Chourio is. When Chourio's going to go Chourio, this is a different team. And we can talk about Bowers and we can talk about Vaughn, and obviously we love Wild Bill hitting dongs from his butt. But when Chourio's going to Chourio, this team's a different team.
So the hangover for Kyle Harrison, no, I was not.
You weren't worried?
I was not worried.
Even after what happened to Chad Patrick Saturday?
No, and Kyle Harrison's been dominant at American Family Field this year. Harrison had given up 8 earned runs in that game in Las Vegas. He had given up just 10 earned runs all season until that game.
And still has, because he didn't give up any yesterday.
Well, and so 18 earned runs this year, and 8 of them.
In one game.
8 of them.
Isn't that that's crazy?
Were in Las Vegas.
That's such a weird. And then the Rockies go and score 23 in Vegas yesterday.
Correct.
414-677-1250 is the Nikolai Law Talking text line. I know we don't really have a prompt right now because we are just waxing poetic about how good Mizorowski and Harrison are. So I'll just throw out, like, was Mizorowski's performance the best you've seen by a Milwaukee Brewers pitcher? Thinking of Higuera and Sutton and
can you put
and Eldred and Bosio and Navarro, what they did in 92 when they were unbelievable. Sabathia, of course, the one hitter that should have been a no-hitter against Pittsburgh.
Do you count the Corbin Burns, Josh Hader tandem no-hitter in a performance?
I do.
Okay.
And I will say, listen, I know there's a lot of people who don't want to call that a no-hitter. I'm willing to say that that's a team no-hitter. But the other team got no hits, right? Juan Nieves pitched a no-hitter. He pitched complete game. What Burns and Hader did, they combined on a no-hitter. And if you want to say that's not really a no-hitter or like that's flawed, didn't Houston pitch a no-hitter this year with 3 pitchers? They have the no-hitter, right?
Well, and they famously threw the no-hitter in the World Series against the Phillies.
Like 5 pitchers, right?
It was a lot of pitchers in that one.
It's still a no-hitter. Like the team still now. I don't think like the starting like Burns doesn't get credit for a no-hitter in his career,
right?
Because he combined on one, but it's still a combined team no-hitter. That's still a dominant pitching performance. Burns. Now we've seen other. We've seen Miz. What was it? His third start? That start in Minnesota.
Yep.
Where he went 5 no-hit innings and then didn't give up a hit until the 6th, right?
And remember, it was the 11 straight no-hit innings to begin the career.
Right.
He did it back to back to start.
So those things count. Those things are real. So was this one of the most dominant performances that you've ever seen by a Milwaukee Brewer? And with Harrison's pitching yesterday, I'm throwing out the Vegas. Obviously it counts to his stats and all that, but could this be the best 1-2 punch? Obviously Burns and Woodruff were awesome when they were at the top of their game. Obviously, Sabathia and Gallardo?
Gallardo tore his ACL.
Right. Gallardo's hurt. Sheets was old. Dave Bush was there. They didn't really have a big 2, but Sabathia was so good did that count as a 1-2, but whoever it was with? I'm not going to give you Greinke and Markham. Markham.
Well, that was Gallardo.
That was. You're right. That 92 run of Navarro, Baggio, and Eldred was unbelievable because I think it was Navarro and Eldred who both won 10 starts in a row in that stretch.
I think it was Eldred and Baggio. I think last year.
Was it? Okay. I think Baggio was great, but I thought, okay. And then obviously you go back to 82 and you can throw in what they got from Don Sutton. Pete Vukovich was unbelievable. Slayton, Caldwell, all the guys back then.
Also, still a ways away because obviously I remember seeing all the consecutive win numbers because of Quinn Priester last year, right? Yep. Where Quinn Priester won 19 starts in a row. Kyle Harrison, the Brewers have won 10 straight starts.
Yes.
Now, all of a sudden, that he has pitched in, and that's including a game in which he gave up 8 earned runs.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's the crazy part. That game was an anomaly, and the Brewers still won that game. 414-677-1250 is the Nicolay Law Talking text line. We've got kind of a fun. We were talking about this yesterday. You brought it up on the postgame show, and then you and I were texting about it for a while. And I know Tim Allen brought it up today on Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh. No, Josh. Aaron was in for Josh. Happy birthday, by the way, to Josh Albrecht, Mr. Disney, celebrating. Do you think he's doing? I know they did the Epcot around the world already this weekend. I wonder, what. Does he?
I don't even know what else he has to do at Disney World, to be honest.
There's so many dirty thoughts I have.
There's just, what has he not done at Disney?
Does he get to dress up as Mickey for a day? Does he get to put on the costume? I feel like at some point you get grandfathered in. You've been there for so long, and you get to dress up as Mickey.
Of Wisconsin residents, what % have been to Disney World more than Josh Albrecht?
2?
Is Josh in the 98th percentile in your mind of going to Disney for a Wisconsin resident?
Definitely in the last 5 years.
Okay.
Maybe not ever, because there are probably people in their 50s and 60s who've gone there, a million times. But he's got to be pretty high up on that number. First world problems. You ready for this one? I had to reset my password at work, and we don't even have passwords at work. We have phrases we can use now. We don't even have to use passwords anymore. We can use phrases. So if I have a phrase that's unique to me, I was under the impression that we were never going to have to reset passwords ever again. That's just my password.
I answered one phone. That's where we've gotten already here.
Yeah.
James on the South Side wanted to mention the Sheets 18 strikeout game too.
Yeah. And Brent writes that one up on YouTube as well. 18K game was something to watch, but the missed pitching velocity is electric to watch. I agree. It's just, 262 says beating Sanchez yesterday with mainly the B squad was a pretty big W. I totally agree with that. It was
Sheets and Davis from the 773.
I mean,
We're going to compare. We're going to compare
Doug
Miz
Davis
and
was
Harrison.
really good for a while.
No, that is disrespectful to Miz and Harrison.
It's not just because it's June 15th. Like they haven't even done it for half a season yet.
What if Harrison ends with under a 3 ERA
and Miz keeps doing what he's doing?
Miz, I will be shocked if Jacob Mizorowski doesn't end up with a 3 ERA or less.
I mean, would you be shocked if it's over 2?
No. I mean, I think that would be
get up to 2.2, 2.3.
I mean,
like
as of late, it looks like it won't happen. But
right.
I'm just saying, do you know how ridiculous he's been? Is it sustainable to be this ridiculous for an entire season? We really haven't seen that.
Right.
So I don't think that's what will happen, just because baseball seems to balance itself out.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, I mean, I think we are in the midst of seeing something that we hope and that we believe is going to be amazingly special. But again, it's June 15th. We're not even halfway through a season of Miz and Harrison together.
Okay, here's the question.
Okay.
Will Jacob Mizorowski have the lowest single season ERA for a Brewers starter ever? The record is 2.34. Corbin Burns, 2021.
I think that's a great over/under. Like 2.34 is a great number.
Point higher than what he is right now.
Yep. But remember, when people do hit him, it goes really far. It gets hit really hard. Yes, and as guys see him more and more, are they going to be gearing up for that fastball? And are his other pitches going to be consistently good enough for him to be throwing up zeros?
I'm pretty sure the fastest pitch that's ever been hit for a home run was not a pitch thrown at the speed Jacob Mizorowski throws a baseball. Like
it was a slower pitch.
Fastest pitch hit for a home run is
come on, AI.
Oh, Mason Miller, it says is at 103.
Yeah, so yeah, it's maybe in that range. 414-677-1250. We'll continue talking baseball. We've got a couple fun ideas for you coming up of would you make this trade if you were the Milwaukee Brewers? He's Tommy Wirtz. I'm Mitch Nellis. We are the Mason Crosby Show.
like
I love this song so
80s,
much. Yeah.
90s high school
80s.
hit song
like 85,
where it's like high school,
Yeah.
going on in the background of the movie.
Definitely. Oh, for sure.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. This is the Mason Crosby Show. Mitch Nellis, Tommy Wirtz are here with you. 262. Kyle and West Bend says, Ben Sheets, one of my favorites. 18 complete games, 4 shutouts with the Brewers.
Hey, no disrespect to Ben Sheets.
Ben Sheets was great. And when Ben Sheets was at the height of his abilities, he was awesome. Obviously, injury issues. Ben Sheets is the first person I ever heard Latimus Dorsey.
USA baseball legend.
Yeah.
Ben Sheets.
Yes. He was on. He was on
2000.
No, earlier than that. Really? Do you think 2000?
I thought it was the 2000.
Yeah, that could be right.
USA team.
Mm-hmm. You don't remember the 1984 Topps cards when like Mark McGuire and it was the one year that Topps actually put out.
I'm such an idiot.
Why would you do?
I looked up baseball sheets USA and just got a bunch of.
Yeah, I don't know what that is.
He was drafted. Yeah, he was a gold medal at the 2000 Summer Olympics.
Yep.
Yeah.
414 says this weekend just proved to me, guys, if they have a need, it's starting pitcher. If they get another good arm, who wants to see Ms. Harrison and a third in any series? Pitching wins in the postseason. Tommy, do you feel like that leads directly into our discussion from yesterday and over the weekend?
I have a maybe stupid idea.
Do you have a feeling in the cockles?
I won't call it a feeling.
Okay.
But I have a maybe stupid idea.
Okay. I'm here for your maybe stupid idea.
But it could be interesting, and there is reason why it's not stupid.
Okay. I feel like you've set up a number of caveats and parameters for your maybe stupid idea, but maybe great idea.
The Brewers.
The Milwaukee Brewers. Heard of them.
Should consider trading for a rental starting pitcher.
Okay.
His name is Freddie Peralta.
Whoa. What? Wait, the same Freddie Peralta who was on the Milwaukee Brewers for a number of the last years?
The same one.
The same Freddie Peralta. The same Freddie Peralta who right now is 5-5 with a 3.90 ERA.
Yeah.
He's got an 8.8 K per 9 inning, which I feel like it's got to be that's got to be a low for him.
8.8?
8.8's a little low for him.
I don't know how many
he's got 81 strikeouts, which is that the same as Harrison? I feel like that's right about the same as Harrison.
Okay.
He's pitched 83 innings, 81 strikeouts.
Oh, yeah, that does feel low for him now that you say it out loud.
Yeah,
like
less than a strikeout an inning.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's his velo. I don't know if it's pitching in with a new catcher, new environment, whatever it is. 15 starts, 4 quality starts. That part's not surprising because we all know 5-inning Freddie.
Real thing.
Right. I mean, 15 starts, 83 innings. If you average 5 innings a start, you'd be at 75. So maybe half of his starts went 6 and half went 5.
The 8.8 is the lowest of his career, by the way, in K per 9.
All right. So that's my concern.
Okay.
Is that because I don't hate the idea of going to get Freddie because I think you can get him pretty cheap right now. Why don't you throw out the idea you had yesterday that I loved this idea, but I'll tell you why it's a terrible idea.
Well, my first thought was, has anyone ever been traded for themselves eventually?
Right.
And wondering if Sprout and Williams.
I'm pretty sure that has happened, that trades have happened and then they flip them back.
Brandon Sprout, Jet Williams for a rental Freddie Peralta.
Yeah, I mean, David Stearns does that in 0.1 seconds. He would love to have Sprout and Williams back for Freddie Peralta, I have to imagine. I don't think the Brewers can make that trade. With the potential that Sprout has and the way they've talked about him, regardless of what you think about Jet Williams, I don't think you can make that trade. I don't think you'd need to make that trade. I think you could get Freddie Peralta for way less than that based on it's already June 15th. There are, 100 games left in the season?
We're at a little less than 100 games. Yeah. About 90 games left.
Okay. No, they haven't played 72, have they?
They've played 69.
Have they played? Oh, yeah, because they're 43 and 26.
Yeah.
Good point. All right. So they've got, 93 games left. I think you could get Freddie or another starting pitcher for a much smaller price than Sproat and Williams.
I am reading off the 262 from here. Don't you forget why we were glad he left. I can't deal with the nervousness Freddie gives me. So 262, to your point,
Yep.
I get that.
Yeah.
And I was okay with the Freddie Peralta trade when it happened. I'm just saying now, if you bring Freddie Peralta back in, you can tell him comfortably, you are the number 3 on this team.
You're not the ace. You don't need to be the ace. You don't need to go out there and be the ace. You can just be the number 3 and you can pitch 5 awesome innings, and we're good with that.
So if in a playoff series, you could either have Freddie Peralta on the bump or Logan Henderson or Brandon Woodruff, health depending on the bump, it now becomes a conversation.
Yes.
Of who would you rather have on the mound. Freddie last year became the only guy on this Brewers team that could start a game in the playoffs. No one else could do it without getting blown up.
That we know of. Chad Patrick might have been able to. Quinn Priester might have been able to.
He was the only one who showcased that he could start a playoff game for this Milwaukee Brewers team. And I'm just wondering, gauging on if people wanted to throw out an idea of a reunion with Freddie Peralta, knowing it will be a rental because he will go get his bag, knowing that some Brewers fans,
I don't know if he will,
are trying to go out and get Tarek Skubal, knowing he will be a rental, who will be much better than Freddie Peralta.
Yes.
I can guarantee you
will
that.
Also cost more.
But will cost a lot. I saw a trade over the weekend that was Robert Gasser, J.D. Thompson, Braylon Payne, and Cooper Pratt for Tarek Skubal.
No, that's laughable.
A ridiculous trade.
All right, real quick, I'm going to get you salivating a little bit about this Freddie, about the thought of Freddie Peralta. His home ERA in New York, 4.50. His away ERA is 2.79. And he's always pitched great at home when he was a Brewer, right?
Right.
Wasn't he always great at home and just so on the road?
Sure.
All right. I don't hate the thought of bringing back Freddie Peralta. You're not giving up Sproat and Williams. You're giving up scrub, or like smaller, or maybe just Williams. I mean, would I trade Jet Williams straight up for Freddie? Probably would. But I think that's it.
Would you trade Sprout straight up for Freddie?
No.
Okay.
I would not. I think Sproat has too much potential, and I think whether Sproat is a part of the future of this club or not, I think you can use Sproat to get a better pitcher than Freddie, or you can use him next year to get a better pitcher than Freddie.
I can agree with the future plan being smarter to have Brandon Sproat be a part of this organization as opposed to Freddie Peralta. With all due respect, Mitch, I want the Brewers to win a World Series this year.
Sure.
I want the Brewers.
Well, then you want to go get Skubal or another name we've been talking about, Joe Ryan from the Minnesota Twins.
Dave and Cudahy just texted in Joe Ryan.
Oh, did he? Yep.
I think you get one more year of control with him too after this year, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
Joe Ryan's contract situation.
I don't know his contract situation, but I will say that Joe Ryan right now for the Minnesota Twins is 4-3, 15 games, 9 quality starts.
It's a mutual option.
He's got a 3.17 ERA, 92 strikeouts in 82 in the third inning, so a 10.1 K/9. His whip is 1 even as opposed to Freddie's being 1.3. Joe Ryan is a legit number 2, if not an ace. And adding him to this lineup with Miz and Harrison, he's 30 years old. He gives you a little bit more experience. I don't know. You do have one more year of control, or
you have a mutual option?
Oh, mutual option. Joe Ryan would be a legitimate addition. Freddie Peralta would be a nice to have. Yeah, he could be the number 3, but we know what we're getting, and could end up it would be great in the clubhouse and all that sort of stuff. Joe Ryan is that level above Freddie Peralta right now.
Does Sandy Alcantara give you that same feeling as Joe Ryan?
I think so. I don't know what he's done lately. I know he started the season very strongly. I also know the Florida is 1, 2, 3, and 1, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 2, 10-2 in their last 12 games. They have climbed strongly back into the wild card race. And so there's a chance that Alcantara is not on the trading block. He is 15 games, 10 quality starts. He's 6-4. He does have a 4.25 ERA. His K/9 is way down.
The
after his surgery.
I'd trade Mitchell and Ortiz for Peralta and then bring up Jet and Lara.
Okay.
Garrett Mitchell might be good, though.
Garrett Mitchell might still be good. Joey is going to be Joey. So would you, to me, Joey's irrelevant in this conversation. Would you trade Garrett Mitchell for Freddie Peralta?
Nah, I don't think I would.
Would you trade Jet Williams for Freddie Peralta?
Yeah, I think so.
Would you trade Luis Lara for Freddie Peralta?
No.
Would you trade Brock Wilken for Freddie Peralta?
Oh, yeah.
Well, I know he's struggled this year, but he's still projecting to be a power hitting.
Yeah, they got better. Guy. They got pretty decent corners.
They do.
I like what they got. Fisher just got bumped up. Yep. That's awesome to hear.
Sure.
I still believe in Mike Bovee, Luke Adams, Blake Burke.
There's a lot of guys.
There's guys that they can
corner
move
infield.
over.
Corner infield, they got a lot of guys.
They got some guys they can move over. But if Garrett Mitchell's good, like this Brewers team is different level because Garrett Mitchell has also been ridiculous the last month or so here.
Yeah, like a 900 OPS, right?
I think he's like a 900 OPS over like the last 20 games.
Yeah.
And that's a good sample size, but it is just a run to this point. Sure. Don't want to get too excited on if Garrett Mitchell is good or not. But I am wondering if
even his career, even his season numbers are above league average.
Yeah.
For those of you who like his strikeouts are a problem. We all agree his strikeouts are a problem.
Yeah.
But his OPS is above league average. Like he is an above average player in Major League Baseball. Not much above, but above.
I just want to throw out an idea of getting in other starting pitching options other than the prize jewel that is Tarek Skubal, which I understand if the Brewers get Tarek Skubal, it's awesome. It's an all-in move. It's a chips. It's Mitch trying to get those diamonds. And instead,
I wasn't fishing. I mean, I had 4 diamonds off the flop.
If there were other options out there that would entice a Freddie Peralta reunion, who would come into the Brewers locker room and fit in more perfectly, quickly than Freddie Peralta?
Yeah, no, that from that standpoint, no doubt, right? Freddie Peralta is the slam dunk. In terms of fitting in, everybody loves him. And
Murph would be elated.
Wild Bill would go nuts.
It would be a massive reunion.
Yes.
And the Mets are going to have to trade him because they're going to be terrible the rest of the year.
Yeah.
And they're not going to sign him because they do understand he's probably he has the capability to be your team's ace as opposed to an MLB ace.
The Marlins are 2 out of the wild card, though they have 4 teams in front of them. The Mets are 5.5 out of the wild card. They are 6-4 in their last 10, but so what? I mean, I agree. The Mets are a mess. I agree. I prefer Joe Ryan. 262 says any lefty starting pitcher over Freddie Peralta. Are there any lefties out there that we have in this?
I don't know. He just threw out Jose Quintana. And if you're going to tell me you'd rather go out and get Jose Quintana,
I know it's
Freddie
Colorado,
Peralta,
but he's been terrible.
No way. I would much rather give up a prospect for Freddie Peralta than a down the line prospect even for
Jose Quintana is 2-3, 9 starts, 1 quality start, 5.27 ERA, a 1.5 WHIP. It's not. I know that it's Colorado, but I'm not here for Jose Quintana anymore.
Here's a couple other names that are just on this list here, according to Spotrac. Spotrac. I can't remember now which one Sparky told me it is. But Robbie Ray, Seth Lugo.
Robbie Ray's been bad though.
Yeah,
I have him on my fantasy team, and he's a good strikeout guy, but he's been bad.
Luis Severino, Luis Castillo. That one kind of gets me a little excited, but he's owed a lot of money.
He's done. It's over.
Eduardo Rodriguez, Merrill Kelly.
Eduardo Rodriguez, you could talk me into maybe as a live lefty arm.
Zach Gallen having a down year as well for Arizona. Jack Flaherty, Michael Wacha, Mitch Keller, Brady Singer, Dustin May. I would take those last 3 out because they're all division guys.
Yeah. Dustin May, didn't he just pitch really well against the Brewers?
Well, and then lost the game.
Right. He had
the no-hitter.
6 no-hit. Through 7. Yeah.
Tyler Mahle, Freddie Peralta, Jeffrey Springs, Mike Soroka, Joe Ryan, Casey Mize, which could be a fun, interesting one through rental through Detroit, but not getting Skubal. Right. Bubich, I believe, is a lefty. Chris Bubich. Aaron Savale. Oh, no one wants that reunion.
Nope.
Anthony Kay, Forrest Griffin, who's kind of been a stud, hasn't he, with Washington this year?
Has he? Okay.
He was the guy who came over from Japan or the KBO or something, and he's been really good since returning. Bailey Ober, Drew Rasmussen, Jose Soriano, Eric Fetty. No one wants that Eric Fetty reunion either.
414-677-1250. What about relievers, says Ziggy? Move Patrick back into the rotation, get a seventh inning guy via trade.
Well, if they're going for a reliever, give me Chapman.
Oh, you like
sell
you
the farm.
You just want to close at the end. Tommy, I got to tell you something though. I don't think the Red Sox are ever making another trade with the Milwaukee Brewers in the history of the franchise.
They can't.
Like I know Quinn Priester's hurt this year, but Quinn Priester was a dog last year, and if they can get him healthy again for next year, great. And now with the Caleb Durbin trade, there's no way the Red Sox can ever trade again with the Brewers, right? They just can't. They just can't do it.
Yeah, probably not.
I also would take Chapman. He's Tommy Wirtz. I'm Mitch Nellis. We're going to keep this conversation going. Ian O'Connor at 120. He is in New York. He's been living this New York Knicks dream. We're going to talk to him about the Knicks, about Giannis, and then we'll throw in some football as well because he's a football guy and a baseball guy. He covers it all for The Athletic. This is the Mason Crosby Show.
I have some interesting developments in lifestyle topics that we were talking about last week.
Okay. I also know that you're home alone, and you told me you got some stuff done at the house.
Yesterday.
This is the Mason Crosby Show. Thunder and Tommy with you.
So I believe it was the Miz game last week. Remember, we had a big topic of parking at gas station pumps.
I didn't remember that. We talked about that, Tommy.
Parking at gas station pumps and not getting gas. And I believe someone
live active gas pumps that other people could be using.
I believe someone threw out the term illegal last week.
I believe they said that for leaving your car while it's fueling.
Well, I went to a gas station in my hometown of the beautiful East Troy, Wisconsin.
Oh, that's your hometown now, huh? Okay, Cudahy.
My place of residence.
Yeah, okay. Let's
with a cop in the parking lot, I did it. And I just wanted everyone to know
you did what?
I parked at a gas pump, didn't get gas.
That's not what people said was illegal.
I'm just letting you know.
They said what was illegal is to put to fill the gas and to leave the car unattended.
I just wanted everyone to know that I still did it in front of a cop.
It's not illegal.
I'm the bad boy.
It's just inconsiderate.
It was 11:30 at night.
Those are two very different things.
11:30 at night.
Right. So why don't you just drive up to the gas station?
I don't have to.
What does have to have anything to do with it? Why would you create more work for you?
And yesterday,
drive closer to the front door.
Yesterday, I was.
Do you park across the parking lot here? You do park kind of far away.
I don't park
sometimes.
that close. Yeah,
you don't.
And then yesterday, I got home from working Brewers coverage, and instead of being done with everything, I decided to do the dishes, put away all the clothes, clean up all the garbage around the
dishes.
House. I did the dishes.
There were still dishes from her from 4 days ago.
Well, I didn't have any.
Gross.
I didn't have any dishes that were that bad. I think there was a pot or two in there.
Right,
like
so
I
your
filled up the
dishes.
dishwasher.
You did
the
your dishes.
And then
did you put pots in the dishwasher?
Yeah. Okay.
That's a radar thing. They just had a whole big topic about that.
Picked up around the house, made the bed, made the couch. Like I did everything so that on my off day today, I didn't have to do anything.
You can just sit around and play video games.
Yeah, it's the plan.
Plenty more to get to here in the second hour. It's high noon somewhere. It's the Mason Crosby Show.
A Super Bowl champion.
The Green Bay Packers have won the Super Bowl.
The Packers' all-time leading scorer.
A game winner for Mason Crosby.
It's time for the Mason Crosby Show with Mitch Nellis on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook and on the free Odyssey app.
This is the Mason Crosby Show. Mitch Nellis, Tommy Wirtz here with you on this Monday. Mason traveling with his eldest to camp in Northern California today. So hope they're having a fun time out there. He'll be back tomorrow.
High noon in Provo.
We got to watch Fletch.
Fletch?
Yeah.
What's Fletch?
Exactly.
Okay.
We got to watch Fletch. I love that people are still commenting on the Nicolay Law Talking text line about the park gas station etiquette. Guys, I will pump my gas and then move my car to a non-pump spot if I have to go inside. Be better. This is 414. Why does Tommy strike me as the guy that leaves his car running when pumping gas in the winter?
I can confirm I've never done that.
Okay.
1,000% never done that. Will never do it.
1,000%.
Will
that.
never do it.
Okay.
Have never done it.
Okay.
However.
There's a however.
Very frequently.
I love the fact that there's a however.
Very frequently pump the gas and go inside.
Okay.
And very frequently do I park in a gas pump and not get gas.
Yeah, that part's just weird to everyone.
No,
it's weird to everyone.
We agree. I think we literally had last week to realize. And I also prefaced with, I know I'm a dirtbag. Very much so know I'm a dirtbag.
Love that.
I just knew before going to the radio that there were other dirtbags out there that also do this.
So you're saying you're not the only dirtbag?
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
Right.
Yes. And
did you think you might be?
No.
Okay.
I just wanted to make sure I was correct that, I mean, I saw it today. At Quick Trip.
What did you see?
I saw a woman get out of her car at the exact same time I got out of my car.
Okay.
And I saw her leave the gas station the exact same time I left the gas station.
But you don't know she didn't go to prepay with cash.
No, she left, got in her car, drove away from the gas pump the exact same time. I mean, we turned in together. She parked at a pump. I parked at a pump.
You both walked in, bought something from inside.
Yes.
And then drove away.
Correct.
All right.
At the exact same time.
That's wild.
I know.
It's just crazy.
Again, I'm well aware of, Tommy, you are an ass for doing this.
Right. Tommy, on a scale of 1 to 10, I know you're a big market guy. You hate the little guy. You love New York and LA.
Right. And Chicago.
I hate Chicago, man. Like, Chicago's so stupid. They want to be New York so badly, and they're not.
Right.
They might have gotten it right with this basketball hire, though. Tiago Splitter, I think, might be a good hire.
Big guy, 7-foot guy.
Well,
right?
yeah. I mean, he played in the league. Like,
so
he's only 41. Right. Of course, I look up his name. The first article I see is like this article that like Portland might regret losing Splitter, which they might. I don't know. The Bulls are getting a new head coach, for those of you who are paying attention. The New York Knicks are the NBA champions of the world. And I'll be honest, man, I got drawn in. And part of it is because I do like big cities. I don't know if I like big cities. I like New York, like the city. I like the city of New York. Ugh. I don't like the sports teams. Dude, go East Troy, New York, same thing. Like, dude, you're the same thing.
The New York of East Troy is my apartment.
Yes, exactly. Okay. Exactly. Right. It's like Grand Central Station in there. I don't know. But I got drawn in, especially on social media, watching all the funny limericks and rhymes, like my mayor's Muslim, my bagel's Jewish, the Pope's on our side at Nixon 5. That was a fun one. The celebrations throughout the boroughs, the exuberance of New York City for this team. Mm-hmm. And I will say, part of it reminded me, there's never been anything like what happened in New York over this weekend, just like there's never been anything like 80,000 people gathered outside of an arena to watch their team win a championship the way Milwaukee Bucks fans congregated in 2021. And I get that it was like, part of it was because everyone just wanted to be out and celebrating with other people because we were coming out of COVID and people hadn't been around other people. And we were outside, even though there were like people literally on top of each other, breathing all over each other. But the fact that we could have this communal celebration in the Deer District 5 years ago and have this amazing feeling, getting to watch some of these videos from New York and the dance parties and the sing-alongs and all this sort of stuff, I got to be honest, I loved it. I got drawn into it. Yesterday I had stuff to do and I was on my phone for half an hour just going through videos of what was going on Saturday night in New York. And I got drawn into it. And Tommy, I know you love sports and I know you love celebrating. And I will say, American Family Field on Friday night, we'd spent the first hour talking about how good The Miz is, but there was an electricity in that ballpark that for those who were there, and if you were there, you can shoot us a text or give us a call, 414-677-1250, and tell us about the electricity in the park and the shared experience of being there with 40+ thousand fans all cheering for the same goal and the same outcome, and then getting to see that outcome. And The Miz pitches the complete game and throws his hands in the air and finishes it off with a swinging strike. It was just unbelievable to see what Miz was able to do. And it just tells the story of why we love sports.
Is it a good thing for the NBA? Is it a bad thing for the NBA that now 8 years in a row, there has been a new champion? 8 different teams. I know that the Warriors won it in 18. So if you go from 2019 to 2020, it has been a new champion. Raptors, Lakers, Bucks, Warriors, Nuggets, Celtics, Thunder, Knicks.
Yes.
Is that a good thing for the NBA?
I think it is.
Because this year felt like maybe the lowest popularity around Milwaukee, but it sure felt like across the NBA, there were a lot of frustrations in the product of the regular season for the NBA.
I think it's always like that. I think the regular season elements of it are garbage and are trash. And I think that gets exacerbated when your team stinks. So when you're a Bucks fan and the Bucks stink, then the NBA regular season stinks.
Sure.
Because there's nothing happy about it. I don't think people felt that way in New York, Cleveland, Boston, San Antonio, Oklahoma City, Denver, Minneapolis. I think people thought that the NBA was really good this year. And that besides the Knicks, yes, it was a disappointing end for those teams, that the NBA is a good product and they liked it. It sucked because Giannis was hurt and Doc's a joke, and the Bucks were really frustrating this year. In terms of 8 teams in 8 years, I think when LeBron was ruling the roost and he won with Miami twice and then won with Cleveland and then won with the Lakers, when Golden State won, with Steph and Clay and Draymond, and then they had KD, I think you have to think, is the star power there similar to when it was, in the late 2010s? If we look at Jalen Brunson and Wemby and SGA and Jokic and Anthony Edwards and Tatum and Brown and Giannis and, I don't know, Donovan Mitchell, Cade Cunningham's going to get there, but he's not quite there. Does the NBA have enough star power to keep you, a Milwaukee Bucks fan, interested in the product? That's what the question is, because we don't have the Golden State Warriors winning 3 and 4 years. And so we know we can count on watching Steph and Clay and Draymond. And whether we like them or we hate them, they're going to tell a story. There's going to be storytelling. There's going to be drama. There's going to be something interesting. Now that it's every year a new team, I still think there's drama in terms of what's going to happen with the Thunder and the Spurs? Can the Knicks do it again? Do the Celtics come back? Where does, like, I think nationally, I think people really are interested in where Giannis is going to end up. I know that's our story because we are Milwaukee Bucks fans, but I do believe that there is a national interest in Miami or Boston, or now maybe the Clippers are getting involved. Is the third party with Jaylen Brown? Is it the Hawks, or is it the Trailblazers, or is it somebody else? I do think for basketball fans, and I get that in the state of Wisconsin, we're not NBA fans in the state of Wisconsin. We are NBA fans in Milwaukee, but we are not NBA fans in the state of Wisconsin. So I get that. I understand that. But I do think there is, again, as I'm drawn to the social media of New Yorkers celebrating New York and celebrating the Knicks and watching wedding celebration after wedding, like all these weddings in New York on Saturday night, that the bride and the groom like come out after the ceremony wearing Knicks jerseys over their tux and over their wedding dress because people just embraced it as opposed to fighting it. I do think there was, we talked about fandom in the first hour. I think there's real fandom there, Tommy, that people get into. 414-677-1250. Your thoughts on 8 champions in 8 years. Your thoughts on the Knicks winning the championship, the Spurs losing the championship, Wemby not shaking anybody's hands after Game 5, the Spurs really just walking off the court, New York taking over San Antonio for Game 5, and all of the regulars, all the celebrities who are there at Madison Square Garden were there in San Antonio as well, except for Mariska, who's performing on Broadway right now, so she couldn't get away from that. But she was there in spirit. I was compelled. I was into it. And listen, JB in the 920 will squawk as much as you want that, like, oh, I'm really a Boston fan, I'm not a Milwaukee fan, which is total bullcrap. But the Boston in me does not like New York as a sports fan, and I was drawn into this story this year.
I'm wondering if the Knicks just thought to themselves, oh, these guys all won a national championship playing together at the same time.
Villanova.
What if we just brought them to the NBA? National championship.
Like you're interested in that. Like, what if Michigan? What if Mara and Yexelberg and
just like a group of the guys on the national championship team who are NBA quality, who are all NBA quality players,
right?
If you put them on an NBA team together, can they just win an NBA championship?
So if you put them on the Wizards, they'd get destroyed. If you put them on, who's like a middle of the pack, like the Miami Heat. If you put them on the Miami Heat, they'd be pretty good. But I don't think. I mean, I think it took, as we saw,
they brought in Cat.
It took 7 years.
Randall,
it took 7 years.
Right.
Like you can't. Time. Right. Like Brunson, Bridges, and Hart didn't win a champion. I mean, I think wasn't Hart on the 2020 Lakers.
Yes.
I think he was on that team.
Yes.
So I think it. I mean, coming straight from college, no way they'd get destroyed.
No. But you get guy that at a time period they were able to dominate the college ranks together, and then if you line them all up together and continue the chemistry that they built from then,
right,
in a time period, they won an NBA championship together.
I think that's a good story.
Okay.
I don't think that's something that is sustainable. You mentioned Cat and Randall, and you could talk about the reason Kentucky teammates, it hasn't worked for Kentucky teammates, is because they only played together 1 year in college.
Right.
So they don't have that togetherness.
Correct.
I don't know if you saw at the end of Game 4, was the end of Game 4, Game 5, Con Knippel was the NBA correspondent. And so he asked Jalen Brunson a question. He's like, hey, Jalen, Con from Charlotte, North Carolina. And that's how he prefaced the question. It was very funny. Supermarket. So not the supermarket, but teams in supermarkets contracts have killed true free agency in the NBA and has caused all of this trash. So super contracts, super max contracts. They kind of have. I don't disagree, but I don't love the concept of free agency. I don't love the concept that Giannis should play one more year with the Bucks and then leave. I think the Bucks have made a significant investment in Giannis and should be able to trade him.
Also, that was maybe the downfall, or the NBA at least saw it as a downfall, is that people were more excited about them not playing basketball and just imagining teams playing basketball together through free agency, as opposed to what actually wins on the court. So you could argue it's a good thing, but that's just fandom, right? Where it's, how awesome is MLB free agency, where I can now imagine if my team signs this guy, how good they will be.
Right.
Instead of, I signed this guy, this is how good.
Right. That is definitely, I mean, listen, the fan bases of the Celtics, the Heat, the Clippers, the Timberwolves, whoever else is dreaming of Giannis right now, like they're picturing that. I mean, I see a lot of Boston posts where Boston people don't want Giannis.
I also have an update.
Interesting. Okay.
From Bob Nightingale.
Oh, okay. Yep.
On some all-star ballot voting.
Oh, really? Is that is the first results out?
Catcher William Contreras sitting at 4th right now with 303,000. He is
he's behind,
doubled up.
He's behind Baldwin and Smith.
And
who else?
And Real Muto, which is garbage.
That is
Freddie Freeman and Matt Olson, both over 800,000 votes.
Okay.
Bryce Harper is 3rd with 651. Jake Bauers is 4th with 207.
I mean, that's a low number, but 4th is respect. 4th is respect.
Christian Yelich.
Because those 3 guys are perennial all-stars. They make it every year.
Right.
So for Bauers to be next, that's respect.
He's got better numbers than most of them.
Yes,
4th in DH, Christian Yelich. But he's nowhere near the other 2 guys.
But again, that's name recognition. He probably shouldn't even be 4th.
Shohei and Schwarber. Shohei's got the most, 1.1 million votes already. Schwarber, 820,000. Yelich at 174,000.
Okay.
In second base, Ozzie Albies at 517, Bryson Stott at 399, and Terang at 373. So right now the Brewers have no voted in all-stars.
Right. Which are you surprised by that?
Yes.
Who? Terang? Like, you can't be surprised by anybody else.
Jake Bauers.
What?
Because
you think Jake Bauers should be first?
He should be in the top 2.
But
statistically, he's the top 2.
But to be voted in, you have to win.
What do you mean win?
You have to win. You have to have the most votes at your position. That's the only people who are voted in.
I know. I'm disappointed in.
So you
ball
think Jake
knowledge.
Bauers should be first in the National League in first baseman?
No, I think it should be top 2.
Okay, but that's not what I'm asking. You said no one's voted in right now. To be voted in, you'd have to be first.
I think there's an argument.
Do you think there's
top
any
2? It's top 2 from the positions get voted in. That's what the gray. There's literally gray.
It's
on the top 2 guys.
Top 2 of all get in?
Yes. Yes. There's like a gray highlight over all of the top 2 from each positional group. So I'm assuming the top 2 get in from each one of them. Because they wouldn't take, and then it's the top 5.
Starters are voted by the fans.
Okay.
Right, that's it. The 9 starting positions. 8 infielder, outfielders, and DH.
Well,
the top vote getters advance automatically.
I don't know why there's gray highlights.
Just to separate from everybody else, like who's first and who's second. I don't know.
Well,
but it's just first.
It's dumb. Jake Bauers' numbers are way better than Freddie Freeman's this year.
Learn no one will disagree with the numbers.
Learn ball,
but it's not how ball works. I would throw it right back to you. Learn the ball of public opinion and voting.
I had a higher expectation for the public opinion.
No, you didn't. You didn't really. Like, you want to. You want to have a higher opinion. You want to have a higher expectation. But you don't really expect that. Because you know ball. So you know how this works. You know it takes 3 or 4 years to get there.
What sports fan base knows ball the best? What sports fans, the big 4 sports, know ball the best? Football, baseball, basketball, hockey.
Probably baseball, because there's so many numbers.
Okay. So even more reason why Jake Bauers.
Right, but there's still a lot of casuals who go to games and vote. And no casuals are voting for Jake Bauers.
Well, then
you got to know ball to vote for Jake Bauers. Okay. So we're voting for Jake Bauers because we know ball. But a lot of people don't. Let's see if Ian O'Connor knows ball, shall we?
Okay, that should be the first question. What sport knows ball the most?
And then we'll ask about Jake Bauers, and then we'll ask about the next.
Okay.
Ian O'Connor's next. This is the Mason Crosby Show. Wait, what? This is the Mason Crosby Show. Thunder and Tommy with you. Mitch Nellis, Tommy Wirtz on this beautiful Monday. Anytime that the Brewers can win a series and Miz and Harrison can dominate the way they are, you got to wake up in a good mood. Brewers off today. They'll be back at it tomorrow night. The Cleveland Guardians in town. Tommy Wirtz will have the leadoff show with you at 5 o'clock tomorrow as he gets back into it. Sounds like some video games tonight for Tommy. Joining us now on the guest hotline powered by Gruber Law is the one and only Ian O'Connor from The Athletic. Ian, thanks so much for jumping on today.
Hey, thanks for the invite, Mitch. How are you?
I'm doing really well, and but I'm not in New York, and I have a feeling that the vibe that you are experiencing is kind of second to none. So I was actually reading the article about how this New York team might be the greatest championship team of all time. But take us into the vibe of New York right now, and especially of the last couple weeks, the last couple days. What has that all felt like?
Yeah, Mitch, I've been doing this for 40 years in New York, and I've been processing and watching sports for probably 55 years in this area. And I've never seen anything like it in terms of a love affair between the region and a team. And that includes all the great Yankees teams of the 90s, the Giants Super Bowl teams, and even the 86 Mets. I've just never seen anything like it, in part because in baseball here in New York, there's a split between Yankee and Mets fans. And basketball, you don't, or in football, you have Giants and Jets fans. In basketball, you don't really have that. The Nets are not really relevant.
Right.
So if you're a basketball fan, you're a Knicks fan. And so everyone in New York got behind this team, and New Jersey and in Connecticut. And yeah, it was very special to see. And I think part of it was these guys play with joy. They play for one another. They're connected, a very likable head coach. And you put all that together and you had a very unique experience.
How does Jalen Brunson do what he does? Because he's 6'1" nothing. He's quick. He's great. But I saw one of the quotes. I don't know if you said it or if somebody else. Oh no, you did. Yeah, you wrote it. That Jalen Brunson is like Derek Jeter for 3 quarters and Mario Rivera in the 4th. Like he's just so solid, so great in the first 3 quarters, and then he's in the best closer of all time. How did he develop to become this guy from like he was really good in college, he was really good with Dallas, but I don't think anybody thought he could be this guy.
Nobody thought he could be that guy, Mitch, in high school when he went to a high school, Stevenson in Illinois.
Right down the road. Stevenson's right down the road from where we are. And it's like, I mean, it's northern suburbs of Chicago. I can get there faster than if you're in downtown Chicago. Like Stevenson's not far from here.
And as you know, it wasn't a basketball power like some he was competing against. And he won a state championship there. Nobody thought he could do that. He goes to Nova. He wins a state title. Nobody thinks he's going to win a second one in 3 years. He wins 2 in 3 years at Villanova. He's a second-round pick. Then he starts becoming a pretty damn good player with Luka in Dallas. And, he can't be a franchise cornerstone. He's not that kind of player. So the Mavs don't pay him the money that he wants. And by the way, if he took that deal, they offered it, you're talking, about $55 million? That would have been the steal of the century if Dallas offered him the money when he was ready to sign. Then he becomes a free agent. The Knicks sign him. And, hey, a lot of people in this market and around the country thought, hey, I'm not even sure this guy can be the second best player on a championship team, never mind the best player. And he just kept proving people wrong. So now the question is, okay, I think a lot of people think a 6'2" guard who's limited athletically, he won this championship. They got a favorable draw in the playoffs, and this is a one-and-done experience. I think if you doubt Jalen Brunson, you end up losing. So I think he's going to win another one. I don't think it'll be next year. It's so hard to repeat.
Yep.
But in the next 3-4 years, I actually now would be surprised if he doesn't win a second championship in New York.
Ian, this is Tommy Wirtz here talking with you. Did New York trick everyone into becoming the underdog in this series? It seems so weird to have a big market have that persona, especially in, something as big as the NBA Finals. But we talk about the story of Jalen Brunson, and throughout the year, the lack of a superstar conversation was popping up in New York Knicks lands. Hell, they wanted Giannis to be traded there at some points because they needed a superstar, and yet they went under the radar. They went through the East They defeat the Spurs, who obviously have the star power player in Victor Wembanyama on the team, but they really handle him very well. And it seems like everyone underestimated the Knicks every single series.
Yeah, Tommy, I think that the Knicks beat them 2 out of 3 in the regular season, including the NBA Cup. And so I think beating the Thunder, the defending champs, even though Jalen Williams was basically out, when they did that, I think people thought, okay, the arrival of Wemby is here. He's ready to take over the league. And that team is so young. They have a lot of really good players. I think Dylan Harper is going to be fantastic.
Yeah,
he already is.
He is special.
And I think Mitch Johnson screwed up in this series. He should have played more. When he was on the court, the Knicks had so much trouble dealing with him. And De'Aaron Fox, I don't even know how he could get 15 shots in Game 5. Like, I just don't know how a coach allows that to happen when Dylan Harper was really killing the Knicks at times. But anyway, yeah, I think it's a fair point that maybe the Knicks should have been favored in this series. Again, they were 2-1 against the Spurs in the regular season. The Spurs are so young. The Knicks hadn't been to the finals since 1999, but in recent years with Tibbs, they had a lot of playoff experience. They got to the conference finals last year. So they probably should have been slightly favored, as it turns out. They played the Spurs this year 3 times in the regular season, 8 times, and they beat them 6. So I think it's a good point, and maybe it's just a case of people still didn't quite believe in a 6'2" who's really 6'1", Jalen Brunson, beating 7'4", the 7'4" new face of the league, who is going to take over the league pretty shortly.
Ian O'Connor joining us here on the Mason Crosby Show. Ian, you've written books. You wrote Belichick, you wrote Arnie and Jack, you wrote The Captain about Derek Jeter. You've written about Coach K. You've written about Aaron Rodgers. But I have to assume that there's something a little bit special about what you just went through following the Knicks. I mean, you have your top 5 sporting events, and you've got the Giants beating the Patriots in the Super Bowl. For you personally, what does this feel like? And are you able to separate the professional from the personal as a fan during this entire playoff run?
Yeah, because I was a diehard Yankees fan as a kid, and the 2004 ALCS is one of the greatest events I've ever covered, even though that was the most humiliating experience in recent Yankees history. My brother couldn't understand that as a Yankees fan too. And I said, well, listen, when you're a sports journalist, you have to leave your fandom at the door. And he couldn't understand how I thought the 2004 ALCS, when of course they were up 3-0 on the Red Sox,
right,
and lost the next 4 games, how that could be one of the greatest things I covered. But anyway, no, this to me is at the top. Now, recency bias is a powerful thing.
Yep.
And I understand that. I'm trying to block that out. Super Bowl 42 is right up there, beating the 18-0 Patriots. But this Knicks run is unlike anything I've ever seen in my life. The complete domination of opponents, the miraculous comebacks, the Jalen Brunson scoring 45 in the closeout game, the closeout games on the road, the 9 straight road victories in the playoffs, winning 15 of your last 16 postseason games to win a championship for the first time in 53 years. I'm sorry. This is the best thing I've ever seen in New York. And I've had people debate that with me in recent days, but I don't know. I think I'm a fairly good judge of that, being around as long as I have all of that time in New York. And I was there for the 98 Yankees and for the Super Bowl 42 Giants team in 07. And this is the best. This is the best thing I've ever covered, I've ever witnessed. And I think most New Yorkers who are impartial would say that, because my wife, for instance, is a baseball fan. She doesn't follow the NBA at all. She loved following the Knicks in the playoffs. She loves Jalen Brunson, and she's not a basketball person. And I've heard that from so many people, and I just don't think any other championship New York team in my lifetime had that kind of impact on fans who really weren't dedicated fans of that sport.
Ian O'Connor joining us on the guest hotline powered by Gruber Law. Ian, it's kind of crazy to think about that. Just a year ago, the talk coming out of the immediate offseason of the NBA was that the Knicks were looking at Giannis, and Giannis had said, like, the only place he wanted to go at that time was New York, and he would consider going to the Knicks. I can't imagine that the Knicks are in on this at all. But as an observer of the NBA, where do you think this Giannis trade rumor Whether it's Celtics or Heat or Clippers or Hawks or Blazers or third teams involved with Jaylen Brown and the Celtics. Where do you think this Giannis thing ends up in the next couple of weeks?
That's a great question, Mitch. It really is. And I'll be honest with you. I think if the Knicks lost that first round series to the Hawks and they were down 2-1 in that series, I think the Knicks would get them. I think they were going to fire Mike Brown, and I think they were going to blow up the roster and get Giannis. Wow. The calls for Giannis in New York would have been so extreme at that point. If you fired Tibbs after going to the conference finals, now we're going backwards. Now we got to fire another coach. We just lost in the first round to a Hawks team we had no right losing to. And that's New York was starting to panic a little bit, down 2-1 in that series.
Yeah.
And Mike Brown changed the entire offense. So I think Giannis would be a Knick if they lost early in the playoffs. I think if you're an Eastern Conference team, I think he's going to end up with another Eastern Conference team. Because I think you're looking at it like, okay, the Knicks won this championship, but we're not worried about the Knicks being a dynasty. If you're in the West, I mean, it's such a tougher road with the Thunder and the Spurs with Wemby. And I don't know. I for some reason, of course, the Lakers could get involved, and that's a very attractive destination for all stars. But I see him in the East. I think Boston makes a lot of sense. And so if you made me put $100 on it, I would say the Celtics.
Got it. I want to switch gears a little bit. I know you wrote the book Out of the Darkness, The Mystery of Aaron Rodgers. A couple of years separated from that. There's still a lot of Aaron Rodgers interest, of course, in the state of Wisconsin. Let us know a couple tidbits maybe that you learned about Aaron in doing all the interviews of people around his life. And, he's such a, polarizing enigma that tons of Wisconsinites still love him for what he did with the Packers. A lot of people are like, yeah, but why is he so weird? What did you glean about Aaron Rodgers during that time with the Jets and writing that book?
Well, it's interesting because from afar, I've always followed the Packers closely because Vince Lombardi coached at my high school. The only place Vince Lombardi was a head coach before the Packers was St. Cecilia High School in Englewood, New Jersey. And so I've always been enamored with, and whenever I've gone to Lambeau, I feel like it's a mystical place. But I never felt like I knew an awful lot about Aaron Rodgers, who was the best player in the league and one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time. So that was really the inspiration behind writing that book. And I think his life really changed. He's got a very loyal set of friends who are, a number of them, afraid to talk about him because Aaron is a punitive guy. You say the wrong thing publicly about him and you're done.
Yep.
You are out. You are on the island and you're not coming back. So I think that COVID changed his life, his stance on that publicly. He went from being a quarterback who is interesting and maybe a bit mysterious to this public figure that a lot of people didn't like. And I had no agenda and I told him that. I'm entering this process with zero agenda. I just want to write about one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time, the good, the bad, and whatever's in between. And he admitted to me he made a mistake with the way he handled that COVID press conference, and he would take a mulligan on that. And I think that.
Oh, Ian, I don't know if you're still there. It sounds like we might have lost you. All right, we will effort Ian O'Connor, getting him back. Ian O'Connor talking about Aaron Rodgers right now and see what's going on there. But if you have the opportunity, Ian O'Connor does have a website, Ian-O'Connor, where you could check out some of that Aaron Rodgers book and Coach K. He's got books about Derek Jeter as well, and about Arnie and Jack. So some cool stuff all involved there. So we'll figure out what's going on with our phone line. It looks like he's still there, but we will see what we can do there as well. But Ian O'Connor, New Jersey native, getting a first-hand up-close look at what the Knicks meant to New York and this run in the playoffs. Try it one more time. Ian, you there? Oh, all right, we'll drop them and see what we can do. Somebody wrote in on the talk and text line. Brunson, a combination of Jeter and Mariano Rivera. Are we seriously doing this? LOL, says the 414. Yeah, I think New Yorkers are really doing that because that is the connection. And that is the feel that New Yorkers had for Jalen Brunson during this run, is that that's who he was during this playoff run. Like he could, I mean, he's making layups at 6'1", 6'2" over Wemby and past Wemby. Let's jump back in with Ian. Ian, you there still?
Yeah, I'm sorry. So what I was saying is, I don't know where I was cut off, but the one thing that was interesting to me was going into the project, I figured there'd be a lot of former teammates who might have negative things to say about him. I wasn't really looking for that, but I was looking for both, okay? Yep. Whatever the truth was. And it was very little of that. In fact, I talked to one prominent NFL official who had been in the league for a long time. And he had known hundreds upon hundreds of players, a lot of them who had played with Aaron. And this guy hated Aaron Rodgers from a distance. He said, I hate everything about his public persona. But I have to admit, I've never met a former teammate of Aaron Rodgers who had anything negative to say about him. They love him.
Yeah.
And he said, I hate admitting that to you, but it is the truth. So I do think that he was a better or much better teammate for the vast majority of his career in the NFL than the vast majority of NFL fans would actually suspect.
That's interesting because, you know, I think like Greg Jennings came out and said some negative things, and he's like the only one, and like got like obviously blackballed by Aaron immediately. And you're kind of right that some guys are scared to say it, but some guys in that locker room, I think Aaron is a super, super loyal guy. And I think we saw that as well. Real quick, we only got a minute or two left. I got to get your take on Jacob Mizrowski, because, you know, we are enamored with him. He's doing unbelievable things on the mound, and wondering, you know, what nationally, what people are perceiving or thinking about what the Miz is doing on the mound right now.
The Miz, it's funny, you know, in this Knicks run, which has lasted like 7 weeks, I would hear people say, did you see he hit 104 or 103 and how many times he did it? And I'm like, I'm not able to see much of it because I was so buried under Knicks mania in New York. But yeah, it's superhuman. It's unbelievable. It's I know some Yankees fans who are hoping someday he would. That's the way New Yorkers think.
That's how New York. Right.
Shut your mouth, Ian. Yeah. We don't want that. Yeah, not yet.
No. I didn't say it. I have not said it because, again, I unfortunately have been busy with basketball. I haven't watched. I've seen highlights, of course.
Yeah.
But he is a phenomenon, and it's amazing what the human body can do with evolution. And it used to be where you had a handful of guys when I was younger who can clock in the low to mid 90s. And now, the way baseball's changed, everybody coming out of the pen, everybody on your roster who's a pitcher can throw in the high 90s. But this guy's taken it to another level, and it's impressive to watch.
It really is. Well, Ian, you know, as a fan, I will say congrats on the run. Is it a book? Is it article? Are you writing a book about this? Are you doing articles? Like what is the end project of the Knicks run?
Yeah, I committed to doing a Giants book, the 07 and 11 teams. I know the 2011 Giants aren't popular in your neck of the woods.
No, neither's 07, by the way.
Yeah, 07, that's right. I was at both games. Yeah. And then I thought the 11 Packers team was the best team in the league. They should have, no question, beaten the Giants that day.
We all agree. We all agree on that.
They should have repeated as Super Bowl champs, 15-1 after winning the Super Bowl. I have no idea how the Giants or why they won that game. It just was a bad day for Aaron Rodgers and company. But listen, I didn't know the Knicks were going to do this. Could I switch off the Giants? And I have a colleague at The Athletic, Fred Katz, who has been working on a Knicks book for 18 months. Oh. It is the best timing I've ever seen. I want to strangle the guy.
Yeah, you do.
Right? So,
That's funny.
I'll probably stick with the Giants.
Awesome. Well, Ian, thank you so much for jumping on. And hopefully we'll have you on again soon. And I know when I told Mason that we were having you on, he's actually taking one of his kids to camp today. He's like, oh, we got to have him on again because I know he's got a bunch of questions for you as well. So we will definitely talk to you down the road. Thanks so much, Ian.
Yeah, I look forward to it, Mitch and Tommy. Thanks so much.
You bet. Ian O'Connor from The Athletic does great work there. Also check out ian-o'connor.com where you can check out all his books, including Out of the Darkness, The Mystery of Aaron Rodgers. This is The Mason Crosby Show. Our thanks to Ian O'Connor from The Athletic for jumping on. Give us a little New York perspective on what's going on there. And listen, he should be on cloud nine. Like he should be just ecstatic and mad at his colleague who's already writing a next book. Because I'd be mad at that colleague too. Mitch Nellis, Tommy Orts with you, closing things out here on the Mason Crosby Show. Again, no Brewers game today. Brewers are off, and Cleveland coming to town tomorrow. Want to remind everybody, we got a brand new Madison affiliate, 94.9 in Madison on HD2 WLX. So get to that if you're in the Madison area. Check that out. All you gotta do is hit that little button on your card that says HD on it and HD2. And if you don't know how to do that, you can ask Tommy because Tommy knows how to do that sort of stuff. Is that fair? You know how to do that stuff, Tommy?
I do. I did not until I met Steve Sparky Pfeiffer.
Oh, okay. I thought you were going to say you did not until you got Kona.
Well, that's why.
Yeah.
I took Sparky for a ride in the Kona.
And he showed you the buttons?
And he was like, look at this.
Yeah.
And I was like, what?
Yeah.
Didn't even know it existed.
It's amazing, right?
But now I'm HD2ing it up if I'm ever in Madison.
Wow. Yeah, you are.
Mm-hmm.
I believe, if I'm not mistaken, Tim Dillard today, 220.
Timmy D.
Yeah.
220.
So you think they'll talk about the Miz and Harrison?
Yeah.
Or are they just going to talk about when's Vaughn going to play third base again?
Oh, good point.
I mean, Sparky is in
good point.
We didn't see it all over the weekend, right?
He did in the late game.
Oh, did he?
Late game, and the game they lost again
on Saturday night.
Yes,
totally
they are
that.
putting him in one-run games at third base in the ninth. Feels like he's earned a game.
It's happening, people. He's Tommy Wirtz. I'm Mitch Nellis. Mason's back tomorrow. No Brewers game tonight. This has been the Mason Crosby Show. Have a great Monday, everybody.